What is up? This is your LA in a minute. And did you know that Carl's Jr. once had a chain of Mexican restaurants called Taco de Carlos? I'm serious. Long before their merger with Hardee's in 1997, or even before their partnership with Green Burrito a few years prior, Carl's made their entrance to the fast food space with their version of burritos, enchiladas, and of course, tacos. This is the story of Taco de Carlos. Let's get into it. Since the dawn of the age of fast food in the 1930s, it was primarily the domain of hot dogs and hamburgers. That was until Taco Bell burst onto the scene in 1960s and started expanding and gobbling up market share. That was when upstart Carl's Jr., which barely had 100 locations at the time and had actually started as a hot dog restaurant, decided to muscle in on Taco Bell's territory and get into the new cuisine. They rolled out a classic teaser campaign in 1971 saying that what Carl's Jr. did for the hamburger, Taco de Carlos has now done for Mexican food. They bought ads throughout the region saying coming soon, enchiladas as they should be at Taco de Carlos, tostadas as they should be at Taco de Carlos. And of course, their version of the Taco Grande, spicy beef, quote, laced with olives, topped with shredded lettuce, special salsa, and cheese. In fact, according to Taco de Carlos, these were tacos the way Californians prefer them. They included that Taco Grande in a special plate, which included Spanish rice, refried beans, and a crisp green salad, all for only 49 cents. By the mid-1970s, they were expanding aggressively, and they had 17 locations throughout Orange County and Los Angeles. They had special rollouts as well, including a Fiesta mug, which was as fun as a barrel of jumping beans. Here's an actual shot at one of those old Fiesta mugs. Taco de Carlos expanded into burritos, quote-unquote introducing the California burrito, though their version, spicy taco meat, savory jack cheese, zesty green chilies, and a tortilla, isn't exactly the California burrito that we know. As they grew, they expanded into multiple meal deals, including tacos, burritos, and yes, hamburgers. Because by the end of the 1970s, as sales were struggling, people figured out that Carl's, or Carlos, specialized in hamburgers. The struggle continued for Taco de Carlos as they headed into the 1980s, and locations began to close. By 1981, Carl's gave up on the experiment and sold their remaining locations to Del Taco, Taco Bell, and Noggles, saying it represented nothing but an experiment. Nevertheless, it was an experiment that lasted almost a decade, and doesn't even warrant a mention on Carl's Jr.'s Wikipedia page, but it is ingrained in the memory for many folks from Orange County and Los Angeles who remember the tacos of Taco de Carlos. All right, LA, it's been a minute.